Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Harleigh. In my last video, actually it's not my last video, in a recent video of mine where I showed you around my new flat, if you haven't seen it, it will be on the screen and in the description. I kind of skimmed over the kitchen area. I had a whole flat to show you and I didn't really get into the details or pretty much any of the cupboards that I have in this kitchen. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you a kitchen tour and also showing you how I've organized this kitchen using a variety of kind of KonMari and the home edit methods. I adopted the KonMari method about a year ago, no, almost 2 years ago now, when I did a complete KonMari makeover on my bedroom. That video is also on my channel. For a kitchen, it's like a little bit less emotional and a little bit more functional. So I learned into some methods that I picked up watching the Netflix series something Organised, the home edit. They like to contain. They like to use containers and contain things. I like it because it gives you that like American pantry vibe, but number one, these containers are expensive. The home edit themselves have a line in the UK, you can shop it at John Lewis, and in the US you can shop it at the Container Store. But basically they're glorified containers by either iDesign or mDesign. And these two brands you can get on Amazon, which is where I got mine. I also have a mix of containers from like IKEA and also just some other random brands from Amazon. And I will list all the containers that I've used in the description. But before I get into all my covers of the kitchen, I'm just gonna show you these two that I've organized using the home edit method for function. First thing I had to do was obviously get everything out of the cupboards. I thought I could do one cupboard at a time, and then I realized that they had like interchanging items and that they just both needed to be emptied. So yeah, did that, got everything out on the counters. So because I'm me, and if you know me, you know what that means, I measured everything in the cupboard and also drew like a map of what my cupboard was going to look like once it was organized, including all the measurements for all the different containers, which brand the containers were going to be. So once things were emptied, I just had to kind of look at this and work out, okay, cool. I already knew that I had tall boxes that were going to be used for cereal. So that was like the first easy thing that I could do. Not all my containers match. The home edit thinks that's important. I don't necessarily think that's important. I think as long as it looks good and it looks like cohesive and everything for me is clear or white, I'm fine with that. These cereal containers are food safe containers, and yeah, I just wash them before use anyway. But some of the other containers, if you are gonna like pour loose food into them, just check that they're food safe. A lot of people use glass containers for that reason. It was kind of a game of like cat and mouse, chicken and egg. I don't know what kind of game it was, but just basically putting things in the cupboard and then being like, no, that doesn't work. I don't want kidney beans next to coconut milk. I don't want peaches with these tins. I don't want baked bean. Blah, 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 blah. Took me a couple of hours to basically come through with an organization method that I think makes sense. So insert here, snazzy little before and after of my main pantry kitchen cupboards. I'm not that big on decanting everything, and I think when you're organizing something like your kitchen, which is supposed to be really functional, you do have to remember and understand, like, are you going to do these things? Most of these things for me, no. For my cereals and breakfast things, which I use every single day, I'm just more likely to actually finish those things and then refill them. Ready Brick is still in the box because the box fits. The main reason I had to do this decanting thing as well is because the cereal boxes were not fitting. Ready Brick does fit, and it's also completely unopened, so it can just stay here. And I have another like green juice powder, which I'm fine keeping in this container, because once that spirulina be spirulinating and the dust gets everywhere, it's just not something I want to deal with. Keep it in the bag, has a Ziploc, absolutely fine. Something that you may not be able to tell from the camera is that my kitchen is quite high. I am quite tall, and in designing the kitchen I wanted to make sure that everything was like usable for me. So I opted for very tall cabinets and positioned them higher than they are traditionally. So for that reason, all of my kitchen cabinets basically exist just around my eye level, and it means that I can use like all of the space up into my worktop, and that if I'm standing looking over something on my worktop, I'm not like I have to get under the cabinet to see it, basically. As a result of which, the top of these cupboards I can't really reach. But in designing the kitchen, I knew I wasn't going to really use them. So the top area of these cupboards I'm going to be using for what Cleo and Joanna call backstock, which is like extras. So if I buy the bag of oats before I finish this one, or I buy like a multi-pack of something, that's just going to get stored at the top. Also things for like guests. So in this cupboard I have some chocolates and things like that up there, which I typically don't eat on a day-to-day basis, but if I had people over, I can just, you know, pop up there, get it, bring it down. Not having people over in the pandemic, so that might be up there. Oh wow. Right above breakfast, but equally as important as breakfast, I have tea and coffee, hot chocolate, and I also have jars, so kind of breakfast related as well, Biscoff, lemon curd, things like that that are unopened. And then right above that, which is still in reach, but I'm trying to keep it out of reach, is snacks. Into my next cupboard, I have more of like what you might think of as pantry food, like actual cans, you know, carbohydrates, rices, pastas, all that kind of stuff, and more like cooking food, not breakfast food and snacks. I don't know, it's kind of how I'd like to split the cupboards. This cupboard is looking kind of sparse because, as I said, these cupboards are huge. I have a lot of space, there's only one me. I'm not gonna overshop just to fill these cupboards. So again, on the bottom shelf, just thinking practically things I use the most and also like weight distribution. So I've got the two biggest containers here. One is full of carbs, rice, pasta, noodles, more pasta, more noodles. And then in the other container here, I have my tins. And then one level above that, in my mismatching containers, I have one container which is for seasonings, I have one container which is for sauces, and I have one container which is mainly for nuts and grains, mainly nuts. Behind that is just where I have two cans of two cans of tinned peaches. Yet again, the home edit label supplies and label supplies in general are quite expensive. So what I did was find a workaround of basically using, I don't know if you remember, like the plastic stuff that you used to cover like your textbooks with at school, like when you had to cover your exercise books, and I don't know, the double plastic stuff. I bought some double plastic stuff and I bought a white paint marker. I literally just wrote out all the labels first, let the ink dry for a little bit, cut, peeled, stuck, labels. Moving on to some more fun stuff, a little bit of a prettier arrangement. In these cupboards here, just above my sink, I have all of my crockery. Is that the name for this stuff? Crockery? Glasses and crockery? I don't know. El Clasico IKEA plates and bowls. Very simple, very classy and effective, if I do say so myself. I've added to that with two sets of even smaller bowls. These are really good for like dips. Another feat of engineering by myself, measuring all of these things so that they were the right heights to fit all the glasses and blah, 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 blah. But I have a really lovely set of wine glasses and gin glasses. These were actually gifts from my housewarming list to my friend Julianne. She got me these pink wine glasses and gin glasses. These are from Next. Gin is my drink, so to have like proper gin glasses at home, A1. Because this is like the tallest shelf in this cupboard, my water bottle and my flask and things like that, this is the only space they can fit. So again, not the most beautiful, but functional. Just out of reach, but if I really wanted to, I can try, my Tupperwares. So I just literally slam all my plastic Tupperware up here. I also have this random gift box which moved with me, and it basically is my medicine box. I just have all my back stock of vitamins in here. I typically fill them out in like one of those little old lady boxes. It works for me. So this is where I keep the rest of them, and things like painkillers and things like that that I don't need access to on a day-to-day basis. Quite possibly the most boring cupboard of them all, mugs, glasses, and I have so many NutriBullet cups. I took the NutriBullet from home, and I think over the process of having the NutriBullet, we've replaced the NutriBullet. So obviously the thing broke, but the cups were fine, and my mum gave me all of them, and I was like, there's only one me, I've got like 8 cups, but whatever, NutriBullet department. Sinks are sinks. Underneath my sink, I have an under the sink cupboard, which I have a very typical arrangement of cleaning products, my washing tabs, my fabric softener, literally like under the sink cupboard, and plastic bags, bin bags, under the sink stuff, I don't know. Next to that cupboard is the dishwasher, and on the other side is the washing machine. So yeah. I had like 2 comments, and I think it's like as the video kind of makes its way in different pockets of the world, people asking me like if I had a tumble dryer in my flat or a washer dryer in the flat, and I don't have a dryer. It's not something that's very common in many London homes, or that I've seen anyway. I have a washing machine right here, and I just air dry my clothes. Round to my beautiful oven. This is a Beko oven that I got from AO.com. I have an AO.com promo code. I think it gives you like £20 off when you spend £100, and that will be in the description. I retained the actual hob from the previous kitchen because it was Rangemaster. The actual old oven was too, but it was simply too small. So I have a 5-ring burner here, and above that I have a Samsung extractor hood, again also from AO. This side of the kitchen, I won't lie, I'm not really going to get into the ins and outs of it. It is basically all the stuff that I use to run my business, which is a home bakery business called The Small Slice. If you're new here for some reason you didn't know. And yes, I could have organized this into cute little containers, but a lot of the stuff I have in here is bulk. Like I have like 5-kilogram bags of icing and sugar just kind of like laid across stuff. So yeah, we're not getting into that. Underneath that I have a pots and pans cupboard, and it's quite deep because it goes like right into the corner and underneath this corner area of the kitchen. So I've got some Pyrex in the back, some strainers and things that I use less often around there. I have a little baby wine rack, which you saw in the previous tour, and I also have this open storage area at the top. I have my short cocktail glasses here, and I have my bougie Fortnum Mason tea. It's just so pretty and it goes with my interior, so I really like it to be there. I clean this fridge pretty much every time I get my Tesco order, so yeah, every 2 weeks probably. I'll just throw up a little before and after of how I got it to this state. Fridge is not really anything in particular. I have one of the organisation trays in here. As per my plan for all my sauces, I just kept finding that because all my shelves are like grill shelves, that basically the bottles were not standing straight. So it's just so much easier to just have them in here, and that's pretty much the only real adaptation I've made to my fridge. Into my standard things, I have a cutlery drawer. It's not very big, so underneath that I have a mixed utensil drawer. I have a container in here which is from the IKEA 365 range, and it just basically houses any other metal stuff, my spatulas, scissors, tea strainers, all that kind of stuff. And then underneath that, more miscellaneous-ish kind of items, but it all makes sense. My aprons, my sandwich bags, my freezer bags, all those kind of things. When it comes to the counters, I have a fruit bowl, a KitchenAid mixer, and then on the other side of the kitchen I have my more hectic usable corner of a microwave, kettle, some more canisters of tall items that don't fit in my small size cupboard, kettle, and the little jars for like tea, coffee, sugar, all that kind of stuff. And I think that's everything. I did promise you more of an in-depth into like my best and favorite items in the kitchen, which I will basically film right now, but I'll make it a separate video because I think this one's gone on long enough. And if you are interested, there will be another video on the channel in a couple of days, or it might already be there now if you're coming late to the party. And that's going to be basically going through like my fancy pans, my skillet, my good knives, all the good stuff, you know? So hopefully I'll see you there. If you haven't seen any of the other videos I've mentioned in this video, like my flat tour, how I got the flat, previous cleaning videos, previous organization videos, they're on the screen right now. They're also in the description, so look yourself up.